So as we all know what's going on in the economy, inflation, the tariffs, and the gas prices. And as a result, so many Americans are struggling. So many Americans can't even find any relief. There's a stat that shows many Americans are putting groceries on credit cards, and as a result, credit card debt has gone up. In 2026, this is the amount of credit card debt that we have in the U.S. That baffles me. And I kind of feel for Americans in today's society, because some of them are trying. Your average middle class family, they're trying. Family of two, a husband and the wife are both working, trying to provide, trying to pay a mortgage or a rent. On top of that, still have to pay for groceries and other stuff for the children as well. And I feel for those type of families, or even if they're single, because they're trying to get ahead, but it feels like everywhere they go, they're being priced out of everything. They're being priced out of homes. They're being priced out of groceries. Everything has gone up, but it all stems from the war in Iran, because gas prices make everything go up. It makes stuff in the grocery store go up, because people in the grocery store, they have to get stuff from the truck, and the trucks are gonna raise their prices in order to bring the stuff in. So as a result, as their costs go up, they're gonna pass those down to consumers, which are us. But we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta continue to save and invest our money in any way, shape, or form. The right way, of course. And this is why I feel like if you have debt, consumer debt of any kind, you're cooked in this. You're cooked in this economy. You're cooked, because if the cost of living, the cost of basic necessities has already gone up how it is, and wages aren't even keeping up with inflation, and you have debt, you have three credit cards that you're just making minimum payments on, if that, and you have a car note of, let's say, $770 a month, because that's the average. That is the average car payment in the United States today, $770 or something like that. But debt combined with inflation it's gonna ruin your financial shape. Well, not inflation exactly, because think about it like this: a person who has zero debt, like me, when prices go up, you could just adjust your budget a little bit, see ways you could cut back. But when you have debt, when you have so many of these financial obligations that you have to pay outside of your necessities, like your rent or your mortgage and your utilities, like water, trash, and things of that nature, and lights and gas and transportation. But when you have all these extra bills like credit cards and car debts, Klarna, that's something that you don't want to do. I don't care if it has 0% interest. Don't do it. This is how so many people, they run out of money. They don't have any money left because they don't pay cash for anything. They love using debt. Debt has become so normalized in today's society. But I'm going to speak against it. I'm going to speak against the shackles of debt. But I'm going to advocate for saving the money and investing your money. You guys can't save your way to wealth, because your savings won't be able to keep pace with this thing called inflation. Inflation erodes your purchasing power. Meaning when prices go up, that same $100 won't be able to buy you the same. It will still be $100, but it won't be able to buy you the exact same stuff. It won't be able to buy you the same amount of stuff when prices go up. So in order to combat inflation, you guys have to invest your money. You guys have to invest your money in the stock market. Guys, I'm going to give you guys a simple blueprint. Index funds. Don't worry about all this day trading, all this crypto stuff. Don't worry about that. Because that stuff, it doesn't have a long-term track record. And you heard so many horror stories of people losing their money, and they say stuff to get you, like an 100% return on your money in one day. That's a scam. You guys, be aware of these investment scams. Be aware of these financial scams. Maybe later on, maybe in a different video, I'm gonna have to break down the different types of scams, how to spot them. I will at some point, but stay away from those investment scams. Invest in something like index fund, VTI. That tracks that's the ETF ticket name, VTI. I believe it tracks the total stock market. If you guys don't want to do that, VOO, which tracks the S&P 500 index fund. On average, the S&P 500 returns at about 10% annually each year. But however, I want to note this, that past returns don't guarantee future returns in the market. But the S&P 500 is known for longevity. After you guys can get something that is emerging, that has the potential room for a lot of growth, that's more volatile in the short term, but over time it has the room for a potential growth. Like me, I invest in the NASDAQ, and I invest in index funds that track developed countries internationally, and also countries that are emerging, countries that have economies that are emerging, that are growing at a very fast pace, but still are not developed like some of the developed countries that have been around for a long time. If you guys know what I mean. The people who are thriving in today's economy have emergency savings and investment accounts. They have 401ks, they have Roth IRAs, they have taxable brokerages accounts, they have the surplus in cash that they could put away for a rainy day fund. A rainy day fund should be about like 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. Guys, I have that. I'm thriving. I'm good. Still saving up for many short-term goals. But guess what? When you don't have any debt, no matter how high, well, I'm not going to say that because cost of living, it is tough, and there are people who are still struggling, and they do have debt. And sometimes you gotta just go out and get you a second job. You just have to, if your situation is that bad. But when you don't have debt, you won't be affected as much when cost of living goes up. Because in my opinion, the cost of living is gonna continue to go up even more, even while it goes down. And here's to note that people aren't spending as much money, that people just don't feel confident in the economy anymore, because major retailers like Walmart, Home Depot, and all those other companies, they have reported that their sales have dropped. I believe that they saw a decrease in sales by 0.6%. So that goes to tell you that how prices have gone up, and Americans, they're fed up, man. They don't see no relief, so they don't even see the point of spending anymore. But you guys gotta stay out of debt. You guys gotta continue to invest. You guys gotta continue to save your money, because an emergency fund is the most important thing. In this economy, you need an emergency fund more than ever, because people are losing their jobs left and right. And having an emergency fund protects your whole financial picture, protects your investments, because you're not gonna have to pull money from your investment account just to pay for things that are of now, versus that money in your investment account can continue to generate massive growth over time in retirement. Guys, when you guys pull money out your investment account, you guys are losing money because of the massive growth that could be happening in that account in the stock market. But instead, since you guys don't have any savings, that's what you'll have to do. You'll have to take out a loan. You'll have to put it on a credit card. You'll have to do a buy now, pay later loan. That should be the last resort. Credit cards, loans that have predatory APRs, that should be a last resort. So try your best. Start out by saving. Just set goals. What helped me to save for an emergency fund and things of that nature is to set goals. Set small goals. Set monthly goals. Set weekly goals. Even set daily goals, and that will help you reach your goal. And another thing too that helped me is to know why you're doing something, because when you don't know why you're doing something, eventually you're not going to be motivated to do it anymore, and eventually you won't reach your goal. So a lot of people set things like vague statements. Vague statements would be something that they want to do, but they don't have any reasoning behind it. For example, people say, I want to save for an emergency. That's a vague statement. That goal is not likely to be reached. Now, if you change that into something like, I want to save for an emergency because if something happens, I will have cash at hand. It will protect me from not going into debt. That is something that will be more likely to reach because you have intent behind it and you have a reasoning behind you want to do something. So that's how you guys reach your financial goals. But on top of that, man, you guys will still continue to do what you gotta do and stay positive too. There's still light in the situation. If there are people thriving, you can too. But you guys gotta get financially literate. You guys gotta know where you guys are spending your money at. You guys gotta know where to cut back in certain areas. You guys gotta just be literate and know what's going on in the world of finance and in the world of economics. You don't gotta know everything. I don't know everything. It's still stuff I'm learning to this day. It's still tricks and hacks that I'm learning to this day. But just because times are getting rough, that doesn't mean I'm gonna just play the victim mentality. Because cost of living is only some of the picture. You guys have so much control over where you guys are at today. You guys have so much control because our decisions have power in the choices, in the trajectory, in the life that we go. So make good financial choices, and your future self will be proud of that.